awakening. Everybody ain't making it.
For me, being unapologetic is not about other people. It's really about me dealing with me. Because how I look at the world is simply because somebody else has taught me how to think, taught me how to feel, taught me how to speak, taught me how to behave. I've had all of these teachers, and they have guided my life. I believe that's why they don't teach philosophy in school, or in elementary school at least, because they do not want us to realize that there is another way that we can be thinking. Whoever they are, it is what it is. But see, because of this, I am not alone, and I know this, but because of this, we have developed in a way that is not in touch with our spirit. And so we go through life, we go through childhood, and then we get into school, and we recognize that people are judging us accordingly, judging how we speak, how we spell or misspell. Everybody is judging. And we are not in touch with our spirit, so the reality is we are feeling it. We're feeling the judgment. And it's because of that judgment that we have taken a path of people pleasing. Now, I know everybody says, like, look, I don't care what people think about me. And yes, I look forward to getting to that degree of wholeness. I'm not there. Majority of the people that I know are not there. That's why we put on clothes properly. That's why we speak a certain way. That's why we correct our language. That's why we believe the way we believe. But it's all because somebody else taught us how to think. And through that, we have developed an ugly habit of judgment. So for me, yes, I have taken some wrong turns in my life. I've taken some desperate, ugly turns in my life. And one of the things that I have acknowledged is that it is time for me to be true to myself. And that's figuring out who self is even. Because I've been living this life of what everybody thinks I should be doing. So I wrote down a couple of things that that were lessons, but I find that when I do my videos with looking at my paper, it keeps me structured, and I still need to speak from spirit, because that's me learning how to tap into my inner guide. So one of the things that I had to learn is to be real with myself. And being real with myself isn't what we call being real. It's being real with my authenticity and who I think I am, or who I'm growing to be. And being real with other people is highly important. Acknowledging that I don't need to be around certain energies because they are not respecting my light. And being real with myself means I am holding myself accountable. And I'm not allowing my brain to convince me that I need to stop doing things that I may dislike but inspire growth. Another thing I have to do is honor reciprocity in my life, because it's very important for all of us to be poured into the way we pour out. And usually people who have so much to pour out, they end up attracting people who have very little to pour. And I think all of that is simply to teach balance. Another thing is I have to call myself on my own bullshit, just like you do. Because we will convince ourselves that we don't need to grow. We need to stick to an ugly habit. And all of that keeps us stagnant. I don't like excuses. I had to learn this at a young age, but I don't like excuses. I think excuses are a cowardly way of telling the truth. So for me, I don't like excuses and I don't believe in giving them. And even when I feel the need to give someone an excuse, my spirit checks me and I have to just say yes or no, and that's that, or I won't be able, or that's that. But I can't tell you an excuse. And so therefore, I don't like excuses told to me. And I will not accept excuses. I will let you see your mirror and tell you that you are using an excuse. But that's not the reality. So be honest, be true to yourself in the process of communicating with me, because now that is something that I require. I don't want to get stuck in a box of identity. I'm not a blood, I'm not a Crip, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. I am a melanated being working on my own growth. And in that process, I don't want to be boxed. And so I'm not. Another one is not to get boxed in my own belief system, because my beliefs are allowed to change. I mean, if you think about it, many of us believed in Santa Claus. You don't no longer believe in Santa Claus, right? So in that same way, our beliefs can change, and we have the right to be able to we have the right to be able to decide what we choose to believe. Another lesson I had to realize, and this is in dating, this is in family, this is in pretty much all of my relationships. I cannot compromise my light for anyone. I cannot compromise who I am and minimize who I am just because I want your relationship. if my relationship, or if there is any relationship that I am in and you are asking me to compromise my growth, you do not belong in my life. I really have worked on loving myself. After I became paralyzed, it was like I didn't feel attractive to men. And so I ended up attracting men that were emotionally unavailable. And I poured into that. I gave of myself, and there was no reciprocity. And I don't blame the men. See, that's the catch-22. I don't blame the men. I blame myself, because that is the energy that I put out there. That is the energy that I attracted to myself. So I haven't dealt with many men since I've been partially paralyzed. All honesty, my son only met 2 men that I have dated in his 20 years. And in between that, I had a lot of celibacy, but it was because I was afraid of being me, afraid of being judged, and not completely loving on my whole self. So, yeah, I attracted that. And I accept that. I accept that. But now I also accept that I am good as is, because we all are on a journey of self-discovery. And so, yes, my journey is one in disability, one with partial paralyzation. And in the process of me working on my own healing, in the process of me building my muscles, I have to accept myself as is. Another Alika lesson is learning how my dictation of my life, or how I think about my life, is what creates my reality. And realizing, like, that's not a cliche. The way I think about myself is how I'm a reflect in my reality. So regardless of disability or anything that I could be dealing with, I have to love me and radiate my light at all times and walk in a place of light. And when my light is not feeling vibrant, then I go back in and check on me and find out what's wrong. See, discipline is also a big lesson. And I find that I am very disciplined in some areas, and in some of my other life areas, I am not. And making myself do the stuff I know I need to do is very important for growth. So, yeah, that's another lesson. And there's many more. I don't have my tablet in front of me, but this is a beginning of just learning to tap back in the spirit, and being unapologetic for my actions, my choices, but also trusting myself more, knowing I know I need to be loved and I deserve to be loved properly, and not accepting nothing less. And that's okay if you cannot man up and be the man that I need you to be. It's okay if you saw that old version of me. That old version of me that was not confident in herself because she's partially paralyzed on one side. And she still comes out every now and then. Like, she still comes out. But the man who is going to love me wholly is going to love every part of me. He's going to love me as is. And he's going to love me unapologetically. So on that note, y'all, it is your girl, the real Tony Hickman. And I appreciate y'all so much. If you like this video and you like what you heard, please comment below, subscribe, share. Also, check out my music on TonyHickman.com. And also, I am in a group called The Cure, and we are hot on Spotify right now. So you can find us on YouTube at We The Cure Music, and that's We The Cure, THAKUR Music. And you can find us at We The Cure Music on all social media platforms. So yeah, but that's how I'm choosing to live unapologetically. And I hope that y'all like what y'all saw. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
I heard you dropped your favorite glass. It's gone now, you can't fix it. Hold up, baby, don't you cut yourself trying to pick up the pieces. Sometimes you gotta let it go, sweep it up and throw it away. Cause when you're trying to fix a broken glass, it's like trying to fix a broken soul. See, we all a little broken. I'm the water, you the cup, and going Thursday, Thursday. And you drink it so good till you hurt me. And then I want your attention. But that's the thing you forgot. Whether I like it or not, I still give it a shot. Oh, I'm just a broken soul. You're just a broken soul. We're just some